what is a dollar deed and why do you care? If you see on a deed $1, either the person sold the house for $1 because maybe it was their family member or something and they weren't trying to make money off the house. That could be. Or it's because somebody doesn't really want you to know what they paid for the house before they sold it to you. Is that right or is that wrong? I'm going to go into that. I'm Monique Burns. My husband and I have been buying houses in Detroit since 2007. We have our own buy and holds. We also buy distressed properties. We renovate them. We place a Section 8 tenant in them and we sell them. And when we sell them, right now, my sale price is $84,000 for a 3-bedroom house with a Section 8 tenant paying between like $1,250 to $1,400 a month rent. That's the going rate right now for Section 8. The different Section 8 offices oddly have different prices they pay for 3 bedrooms. Section 8 is this whole big maze of why they have these different prices and how do you find a Section 8 tenant and then how do you keep a Section 8 tenant. So I decided to make an entire course, and if you would like my freebie, it's how I interview Section 8 tenants, and that will link you out to my course. But the best way to get the best ROI is to manage it yourself. So my course is called Section 8 Rental Mastery, Manage It Yourself, the Pat and Monique method, where we teach you all about what we've been doing with these 300 plus houses, and we hold your hand through it and get you your best ROI. Between our own buy and holds and mostly the houses that we are flipping, we have purchased 300 plus houses in Detroit. And let me tell you how this dollar deed thing, when it comes up. So you can buy a house either from, or you can buy a house from a wholesaler, or you could go directly to the distressed seller and buy a house from them. The path of least resistance is not going directly to the distressed seller and buying from them. I have tried it. It's really hard. You have to figure out how to send letters and you have to get responses from the letters, or you could go door knocking. This video is not about that. It's a lot of work, and I did learn from doing it myself that that is really not my job. That's too much. That's not something I choose to do with my time. And a lot of the houses we buy, a majority of the houses we buy right now are not from real estate agents, but they're from wholesalers. And the wholesalers will go to the distressed seller and they work through their problems. These distressed sellers, for whatever reason, aren't wanting to use real estate agents. The wholesaler will go there and he'll say, okay, I can sell your house for you. Will you take, let's say in this example, $20,000 for this house? And the distressed seller says, why, yes, I will. And they sign a contract. And then the wholesaler comes to me and says, Monique, I found your perfect kind of house. It's exactly what you like to buy in the right neighborhood where you like to buy it. I can sell it to you for, let's say, $30,000. What do you think? So we walk through it. We determine how much all the renovation is going to cost. We know our end price is $84,000. Will we make a profit? Will it be the amount that we need to make it worth it? Should we do this or shouldn't we do this? Yes or no. So we say, okay, yes. Well, I don't know that he only got it for $20,000. That's really none of my business. $30,000 is still a really good price, so I'm okay with it. The wholesalers that I work with are very open about all of this. I don't ask them up front, well, what did you pay for it? But I think that's the problem. And this is where the dollar deeds come from, is a lot of buyers are like, well, what did you pay for it? Because they don't get it. They don't get how hard it is to send all those mailers. They don't realize that this wholesaler already talked to 10 other people to just make a deal and none of them panned out until they got this one, They don't get it. That's worth something. And so what the wholesaler will do, because most buyers just don't get that, is they will do a thing with the title company and say, can you just put $1 on here so I never have to tell the buyer what I actually paid for it? And that way the buyer never sees it. Would you call that sneaky? Or would you call that a buyer that's not very savvy? I don't know, whatever. I'm not bothered by it. I know how it works. I'm kind of glad I don't have the dollar deed. I'm always curious when we do buy the house what the wholesaler got it for. If they got a really good deal, let's say they got it for $10,000 and I paid $30,000 and the wholesaler made $20,000. I'm stung. I'm human. But I think, wow, good work, because that was definitely worth $30,000. And I'll tell you, I'm not willing to go to someone's house and say, I'll give you $10,000 for a house that's worth $30,000 to me. I'm not doing that. If the wholesaler does it, that's just kind of none of my business. So in this video today, I have Erika Vogel talking, and she is the owner of my title company. And if you don't have the right title company, it can be a big old hot mess for you. And once I discovered Michigan Investment Title, I have been absolutely thrilled working with them. And I am on the board of the Real Estate Investors Association of Oakland, as in Oakland County, Michigan. And my role is that I do the first 30 minutes of education. There's this early bird session from 6 to 6:30, second Thursday of every month. I invited Erika, and she has a ton of material, and I recorded it all. So I've started a series. Definitely watch for that series of videos. So you're going to want to be sure that you are subscribed so you get the whole talk that Erika gave, because it was more information than you would ever even get from a guru. And if you are liking this video, please do subscribe, like, comment. I love it. It really helps. But let's get into what Erika has to say.
So a dollar deed. So on your warranty deed, instead of saying your purchase price is $100,000, it's going to say your purchase price is $1. And then underneath it, it's going to say real estate transfer valuation affidavit filed. So on that document, that RETVA that we file, on that it will say the actual purchase price, the amount of transfer taxes collected, and that will get filed with the county and not for public viewing if they were to go and try to look it up on county records. They'll only see that it was a $1 with that affidavit filed.
Does it have to be filed with the county, or can it go to the state?
I believe it has to be filed with the county, because at the county we're paying the transfer tax directly to them. Another thing that a lot of investors do, and it's not just for subject to, but it is for when you are going to buy a property and then resell it, but this can also happen, you can use this with your subject to. When you do the deed, you can request what we call a dollar deed. And that dollar deed will hide the purchase price, and it will just say that you bought it for $1. There is a form that the title company will fill out, and we will file it with the county. If somebody wanted to dig and figure out how much you paid for that property, they can go down to the county and get that document, but it's not on public record. You might know better than me, but I believe that if you do the dollar deed, they don't count that for appraisals either. So if you're buying the property...
No, I don't. The biggest problem with that is in Detroit, when you file the affidavit, they take a red stamp and they stamp it on the deed that says whatever it's called, value affidavit filed with a number, so that tells the assessor to go look at the price to raise the taxes.
But if you're going to do a double close, so an A to B, B to C transaction, and you're going to buy it for $100,000, but you're going to sell it to somebody else for $150,000, and you don't want that known, you can do it that way. Like I said, it doesn't hide it, but it hides it where they can't go and just pull it up on public record. They actually have to physically make the effort to go down to the county and ask for that to be pulled. So that is something that a lot of our investors do. When you're doing subject to, that's a good thing to do on your deed as well. That way it doesn't reflect that there was a transfer with a purchase price. People who are going to fix and flip, that works for them as well. And that's been around for a really long time, but only a few investors use that on a regular basis. So you guys, if you need me, my office number is 586-281-3268. And my email is Erika, ERIKA, @mititle.com.